With Jordan's slender golden arm resting on mine, we descended the steps and sauntered about the garden. A trail of cocktails floated us through the twilight, and we sat down at a table with the 2 girls in yellow and 3 men, each one introduced to us as Mr. Mumble. Alright, so let's break down this passage using what we've learned in our previous video. Alright, so first impressions. Please write down a few of your first impressions from this text. Now, bear in mind that we're reading this text from Nick's perspective. So, how does Nick feel about Jordan? What do you think? Personally, I think that Nick is enamored with this girl. It's like he can't keep his eyes off of her. He's dreaming. When he talks about other people at the very end of that passage, he definitely doesn't describe them the same way that he describes Jordan. Now, please go back and highlight either on your computer or print this off and highlight with actual highlighters a few words or phrases that stick out to you to help explain why Nick feels the way you said he does. What is he saying that suggests that he feels that certain way? With consideration to the words that you just highlighted, what would be some adjectives to describe the overall effect of the words that Nick is saying? I think that I would describe his overall choice of words as dreamlike, they're a little whimsical, they're definitely romantic, and they're sentimental. Alright, give this worksheet a break and look with me at the differences in diction worksheet. Alright, so we have the same excerpt at the top, we're all used to it now, but what if the excerpt read differently, like this? With Jordan's thin arm resting on mine, we walked down the steps and about the garden. A tray of cocktails came over to us from the waiter, and we sat down at a table with the 2 girls in yellow and 3 men, each one introduced to us as Mr. Mumble. There's a big difference in that, right? Let's break it down a little bit. Please first discuss the differences between the versions of the same text. How does Nick feel about Jordan or the party in this version of the text? Or do you feel like it's harder for you to understand how Nick feels in this different version? If so, why? I think that it's definitely hard to understand Nick in this second version of the passage. We have lost those unique words that helped color the scene for us through Nick's perspective. Now, I'm not sure how Nick feels about Jordan or his night together with her at Gatsby's party. I don't connect with Nick as much as I used to, and Jordan is pictured to me as being the average girl who has thin arms. So, what words are missing from this version that make it so different? The words that are missing are slender, golden, descended, sauntered, and the phrase through the twilight. If you had to describe the diction of this new excerpt, what words would you use? I would describe this diction as being basic, bland, or pointed. It's very direct. It's not specific like the old one was. Finally, which version do you like better, and why? No wrong answers, but be able to talk about it. Personally, I enjoy the first version more because I am able to better understand what Nick is experiencing at the party and how he feels about Jordan. The image of this scene is also clearer to me with all of those interesting words that he uses. That sentimental, whimsical diction that Nick employs helps color the otherwise dull scene from the story. So, back to our original worksheet. Pick one of those words that you use to describe Nick's word outfit or Nick's diction and use it to fill in the following sentence. For me, my answers will read, Nick feels romantic about the party that night with Jordan. One word that contributes to Nick's sentimental diction is golden. This word helps the reader understand Nick's feelings because, by Nick using the word golden, we are able to see Jordan more so as Nick is seeing her. He pictures her as having an arm that is golden. It's pretty to Nick and valuable. This word allows Jordan to take on the values of gold, saying that she's golden. Further, the word golden is typically only used for discussing things that are made of metal. Applying this word to Jordan, she is no longer a human in Nick's eyes in this scene. With this word, she is becoming something that is golden in nature, almost like a beautiful statue. This diction works together with the subject that Nick is discussing to help the reader understand that Nick feels a certain way at Gatsby's party with